Two open niche image models are dominating creative workflow right now. One of them is Qwen-Image-Edit, and another is a FLUX.1 Kontext. Well, today I'm going to compare how they actually work, like text encoders, Clip T5 versus Qwen-VL, flow versus diffusion, how the VAE on each of them work, what is different in editing philosophy they have it, and also I'll show you where each one of them wins. Let's go first over how they actually work. We'll look a little bit closer, and we're going to compare how the diffusion model work, how the clip encoder and VAE work, what is different philosophies there, and in the end we're also going to compare each image. So be sure you stay to the end to see visually which one performed better and what other difference. And you know what? The Qwen image is 20 billion MMDiT. It's a diffusion transformer built to nail native text rendering. Actually, did a really good job, but it's naturally support English and Chinese, so multilingual. And it's a precise edits. Well, it's secret sauce in progressive text, curriculum, and dual encoding. We'll come back to dual encoding because I think it's a very clever way, in a way, the approach to create. If we look also on this dual editing overall, it is two paths. It's one they actually produce like semantic, and another one is appearance. We'll look closer a little bit later to this. And next, if we look on a FLUX Kontext, for example, in this case, it's a rectified flow transformer for unified generating and editing. It's simply concatenated text tokens and image tokens into one long sequence, then use a 3D ROPE with a little time offset to separate the context, well, the image you're editing, from the target tokens, and it's trained with a flow matching classes and accelerated with a latent adversity diffusion distillations. Whoa, that is a mouthful, yes. Well, we'll call this LADD. In our case, we'll look closer. You'll notice right here as the, for example, with FLUX, we have our diffusion model. We also have it loaded our dual clip. Notice it's a dual clip or text encoders loaded and VA. Let's look closer on our text encoder. Well, in the FLUX pipeline in diffusion wire, we'll use up to two decoders. One is a clip ViT-L like 14, and another one's it's T5XXL. Well, XSL is give it us longer prompt capabilities. It's a richer semantic. Clip by itself, it's only 77 tokens, so it's quite a bit short and it can cut off. With our T5XXL, it's provide up to 512 tokens, and with schnell model, which is smaller, it's about 256, so it's about double less. The benefit of the shorter clip, it is very precise, it's more direct, very nice to adjust, but again, it's a limitation on this. If you watch some of my previous video where we train a lot of model for the FLUX, in some of them we was using this text kind of embedded with our image, and it was what clip was providing for us when we train. It is this precise, but again, it's a very limited. So if you want to describe or give it a little bit more precision on this, it won't necessarily work because it will be cut off. And so the reason why here it's utilized power over the two encoders. One is a clip and another one is T5XXL. Well, in a Qwen image, they have a total different approach. Okay, this is, we don't need this clip, we don't rely on a clip. It's used Qwen 2.5 VL as a text vision front end and impose similarity long prompts up to 512 tokens, similar to TXXL, in a diffuser pipeline. The VLM is frozen for the editing segments. Well, bottom line, if you hitting clip classic 77 tokens wall with a dense creativity, brief FLUX clip plus T5 or Qwen-VL encoding, they both will solve the problem. For bilingual typography and documental-like prompts, Qwen is specifically trained to excel in this. So if you think you want to create a different text all over places, not just a one, like a sign all over places, and then you'd be properly that Qwen, both families work in a latent space via VAE. It's a variational autoencoder. The VAE compress images into latent space for the transformer to denoise. Yes, the noise happening in a latent space, not on the image itself. And then it's decoded back to the pixels. And you can see right here, we're loading our VAE. We have our encoder, and right here we have our decoder going back. In a FLUX with the diffusers, you literally see the autoencoder KL via component alongside the flow scheduler and transformer. In a Qwen image, the diffusers and the VAE is registered as autoencoder KL. It's a Qwen image as Qwen specific VAE class. It's paired with a Qwen 2.5 VL text vision encoder and MMDiT denoiser. Well, why it's matter? Sharp text and macro details that live or die inside a VAE. Well, if encoder decoder blur teeny tiny strokes, clean typography is impossible later. Qwen trained focus on the text rendering implies in VAE plus data pipeline, and then it's tuned for the glyph fidelity. Well, and also layout preservation. Kontext even includes an appendix of VAE evaluations, and it is underscore how circular reconstructions quality work. What from all this we can take in? If the tiny fonts, bilingual signage, slides, poster layout are your workflow, the Qwen with VAE and plus circular tends to hold the edge and space in that area. However, if you needed faster interrupt edits where character identity must stay stable, close many turns, then Kontext VAE and flow stack shines. In particular, because the whole system is optimized for multi-turn consistency and speed. You want font and posters? Use it Qwen. You want consistency of the character with multi-iterations? Use it Kontext. I'm come from the time when we used to have it ControlNet to create pose, or Inpainting, Outpainting to remove some specific parts. So when I first time saw FLUX Kontext, it's dropped my jaw down how it was unbelievably. It is fully consistent, nothing is changed, only except what you specify. So for me, it was in some way a revolution of what I saw with a generative AI. And then come Qwen, which is exceed in some other cases. Well, in this right now, let's go look on this editing specifically. Let's look on a Qwen-Image-Edit versus FLUX.1 Kontext. How are they different and how the same? I'll tell you true, when I start looking on how Qwen-Image-Edit work, it's actually very remarkable and very ingenious in the way how they approach. Well, they do something very elegant. It actually feeds the input image two ways. One to the Qwen 2.5 VL for semantic kind of guidance, and a second into the VAE encoder for appearance control. In one case, it's a holded copy that says, does it change only what's supposed to change, and another one's perform changes, so it kind of compare. Because of this dual path, it's led to both preserve meaning and keep pixel consistency for low-level operation. Well, it does have a little bit backdraw, and because of this comparison going forward, it does perform slowly than FLUX Kontext. Well, in this case, Kontext is using a single unified transformers that reads the image and your instructions in one token stream, well, sequence concatenated. Plus, it's using a 3D arrow API, which is time offset to keep it context, and a target neatly and separated. It's trained on rectified-flow last, then it's applied distilling, so its sample can done in fewer steps. Well, this can show definitely when you start working how fast it will perform and still keep it consistency. Well, who perform better here? Text editing and document-like changes, both strong. Qwen is superb in bilingual and paragraph level typography due to the circular and benchmarking targeting text fidelity, character preservation across many edits. Kontext reports the best, and in the class character consistency as well. Well, we won't go too deep in how a model trains. They just kind of mentioned that, for example, at Qwen, when it's trained, it starts with images without text and the slow increase with text complexity. So almost all these models, in many cases, will train one with more simple and another pass like with higher details. This is will assure they have it understand overall how the object or structure of the image, and later will pre-train on more detailizations of each of those images. Well, let's go and kind of summary, put it this way. If your briefs are text heavy, if you have signage, ads, decks, bilingual posters, or you needed pixel faithful local changes with a minimal collateral damage, well, this is thanks to this semantic plus appearance dual path, which will keep it to this. Well, pick context if your job is iterative, like for example, brand characters, product shots, storyboards, and you needed fast, stable, multi-turn edits. Well, let's go look actually closer with what we generated. Right here, example, I used Qwen image to generate a library with some text, and you can see it did create it, but it does not feel fidelity. It does not feel details in this case. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily what was in the prompt I want to create it, because my prompt was creating the ancient futuristic library, shelf stacked, all this. You can see it's a floating. Yeah, it's kind of creating, but something weird stuff. So for example, this is FLUX Qwen, and you can see complexity. It's more details. Look on these details. Even resolution is not there, but it does create a little bit more detail. So it's more complex was using there. And when I use the chroma model example, same with the flux, you can see it did create more. And generally I found about this, the flux model actually had more photorealistic effects, better models was creating. So it does perform if I create just the images. I found that for me, again, this is all personal opinion. It's very subjective with personal opinion when we come to this. I like flux model better. But the story is changed when we're going towards Inpainting, towards the utilizing Qwen-Edit or FLUX Kontext. I'm a big fan of FLUX Kontext, but when I start compare two of them, what I found, for example, with Qwen was much easy and more forgettable to understand my creative English. That's what I call it. It's not broken English, it's creative English. So, and also when it's generated, if you can see right here, I put a Pikachu on my shoulder. This is original. It does lose some details on my face, and it's because of the resolution, because this is actually 4,000 pixels, and it does have some detailizations. That detailizations was lost here. However, it's keep it that dual things work very well, and it's keep very well together. It's not bad how done. What I like it, you can see the character, it feels it's there. So it's keeping saturation, contrast, luminosity, all these levels to the image. So it's a much better did this way. However, if we're going to look now on context, let's look right here. One, you can see it's definitely the saturation is off here. So I used exactly the same line on the both of them, all settings same. It did perform much faster. It is no question, it's performed much faster. And another thing, look on my face. This is, you see the detailizations, it's keep it. It's actually context does not touch my subject. Again, let's compare to Qwen. You can see right here, look on this. You see how it is airbrushed almost. Yes, it's too smooth. It's Qwen did affect my image. And a context here, if we're going to look, you can see it does not change at all, but it's add object. You remember, it's what I say with the string between of them. One will do better one way, and context, if you want to consist of the characters and everything, keep up. So this is work better. It does create a little bit oversaturated, on my opinion, and contrast level on the blacks is not there, because we can compare to these blacks and these blacks. It's not yet. It's still been not bad. And again, which one is better? It's whatever your task is, because if I'm going and I just create one, I may just go with this. If size, even I lost some of the detailization texturing here, I do like how it's actually placed it and how the colors and saturations, luminosity, how they both work together. And here it is, did not affect me, but with character. So, and I run multiple tests and they kind of work this way, same with details. Well, I'll show you a little bit in a second on a 3D model. Okay, and that's what we kind of start. So you can see right here, I have it same model I created. I upload them in Flux. Front view, it should be exactly the same on a both because it's our start point. And next I tell rotate in the back. Top is a Flux, bottom is a Qwen. If we come closer right here, we can see different. So right here you can see the like fur look a little bit more as a fur versus here it's more line, and this is a Qwen. Okay, if I'm right, yeah, bottom is Qwen, top is a Flux. And we can look on some of those detailizations. We have it quite a bit better texturing, I think, right here going on the Flux, and we can compare texturing to this versus here, same effect. You can see we lost some noise in detailizations, like on the rocks. You can see the rocks here, and rocks generated Qwen is smooth. Even right here on the Flux, we still have the same texturing on this. So in this case, Flux perform this way. The rest, it's again 3/4 rotations. They both perform not bad. It's general, how to say, the poses, the look, it's similar to this. And all what I did, I just tell rotate, I tell them to perform. So it's not bad. One thing I can also point right here on the Flux, look right here, hand on this. And if we look on a Qwen, the hand is kind of broke out a little bit right there, so it did a little bit confused on this. Well, and some other ones it's perform a little bit similar to this. Now let's go look a little bit closer on the image, because right here I created different type of the images with different type. And first you can notice it's different size. Yes, because actually Qwen is larger. So the Flux depth by resolution it's a 1024, and this is, if I'm right, it's a 15, or anyway it's a larger size. And if you look on the side, we have our Gemini banana one, the new, and this is 2048. So by native right now, if you look on the new Gemini, on the new Google things, it's quite a bit impressive new one. Banana, whatever they call this. So we'll have this one. The next, it's a bit older, ImageFX. You can use it. It's still a little bit older in a lab Google. Then we have it OpenAI, and we have it to Flux Dev, Flux Korea, because I say I personally like the Korean model quite a bit how they did. Well, let's look closer. So right here, if we look on a Qwen, mostly what I look, it is how the render, water reflections, smoke, fog, additional details. This one is look to me very CG'd. If I use it some application like, for example, DAS 3D or some other CG applications, 3D CG applications, this is what have a feeling for me. It's kind of there, but missing those grinchy, missing natural details. Flux Dev look very similar to this, honestly. You know, it's not this. Of course, we have it killing in Qwen. They are awesome. Okay, text is real good here. Well, we do have it some volumetric light is rendered properly. Here, little bit clean, how I say it. It's look, the both look to me like CG, except Qwen, of course, bigger size. If we're going more to Flux Korea, you can see it is add more details, look more natural, a little bit nicer. This is OpenAI, and OpenAI, it is ChatGPT. Other ones to do, you can see it's created, but general lines is broken. It does create grungy look, but technically it is not very clean. Right here we have it clean lines. Here is kind of messy if you look. And of course, if we're going to ImageFX, which is older Google render, you can see it does create. Look on the ground. I like the amount of details, all of this. This is small, teeny tiny portion, and this is exactly the same prompt I specify. Right there, if you look on the ground, we do have it nice DOF. Not so much small details, but this one is definitely open. The ImageFX kill it. And if we're going to look now on the new, that banana one, It's create perfect text. It's creating nice reflections, details, and it's have this depth. So it does not necessarily look like it's CG. So again, it's comparison. But we mostly will go between Qwen and FLUX. And I will say Qwen have a bigger size, which is big plus, but they're really close together in my case. Well, so we'll not just compare this. Let's compare more of this. And here you can see same Qwen. It's what I was saying with library creating versus a little bit more details in the FLUX. OpenAI, for some reason, pick up Geek at Play. This is seriously, I did not tell. It's somehow pick up Geek at Play. But till you see Geek at Play, remember, subscribe, click like, support. So we have it more of the Geek at Play around. Okay, but you can see it, you have it nice details. I like the pages how it turned here. The OpenAI did very nice. So this is again ImageFX create, and this is the new banana, way bigger size, beautifully done. This is way created like church creating in the space with the drones. It did create nicely. There I will say they are very close, except this one have a little bit more. Okay, clear OpenAI image and just compare it to these ones. Let's go next. Okay, let's go right here. This is more to the portrait, and this has started getting a little bit different because the Qwen actually prefer, my opinion, better with the portraits creating than FLUX-Def. But this is going in this scenario. Nice, beautiful. The only things what I'm kind of will be complaining, it's about this water leaking. See, it's very unrealistic right here, kind of collect, but it's very nicely done. This is FLUX-Def. And of course, if we're going with Creo, which model specifically designed for photorealistic models, you can see the texturing is stunning. Except, again, we have a problem with this dripping. You know, it's like slobber almost going. And this one is OpenAI was generating ImageFX and Gemini one. City will be different story because I like Qwen how it's pre-trained, because right here when we have a street, it's add blur, it's look like a real photo. I mean, the Qwen here is a definitely shine. FLUX-Def CG just create a little bit better, but still problem. OpenAI create kind of interesting ways, and Gemini did it, of course, the stunning job as well. This one was on character understanding, and for some reason they're all, because it's even specified to create for me single character. No, it did not do it. So like right here, you can see it says same character, but try to select from different poses, and it's end up not exactly same character. Same right here, FLUX Creo. And you know, if it's happening, you know, it's something horrible with the prompt. Probably need look a little bit better. So right here you can see the result. It's what I was doing with a render to different models and try them compare, see which one working. I don't think one is like 100% better than another. Personally, I think that each of them good for specific job. And what point of this video I try to bring to you, it is select a right tool for right job. You know, you don't use it flat screwdriver on a Phillips. You could, but why? You have a Phillips screwdriver. So same here, just use the right tools. Well, again, thank you very much for watching this video. All the links down below. Thank you for your support. This is very important to the channel grow, and we'll see you next time. Bye.